C'est YouTube, de retour Twitch. Bon, je vais essayer de continuer, mais franchement, mon rat il a baissé, mais tellement bas. Je me sens trahi, littéralement trahi par ce qui a été fait sur ce Metroid. Tellement de mécaniques qui étaient appréciables et qui étaient un bonheur à utiliser, qui sont devenues littéralement une punition dans ce nouvel opus. Et qui ne donne pas du tout envie de l'apprécier comme la plupart des Metroid l'étaient par le passé. Ce côté Metal Gear, Silent Hill dans un Metroid, non. Je suis désolé, mais non. C'est pas quelque chose que j'accepterai. Dans un Metroid, on montre son skill, on montre ses techniques de combat, on montre son esquive, sa dextérité, on ne se cache pas. Samus n'est pas une fuyarde, Samus n'est pas une lâche. Et c'est ce que Nintendo a prouvé tout le contraire de Samus. En faisant encore une fois passer les femmes pour des lâches. Voilà. Je pense que c'est le message clair et précis à montrer. Tout ça parce que c'est soi-disant une machine imbattable ou je ne sais quoi. Ben forcément, on met encore cette éthique de faiblesse envers un personnage féminin. Alors que c'est quand même un personnage emblématique chez Nintendo. C'est fatigant à supporter. C'est littéralement fatigant. J'arrive plus le supporter en fait. C'est trop lourd. On a pu, on ressent plus la puissance de Samus. Elle passe son temps à se faire humilier et c'est chiant quoi. C'est littéralement chiant. Dans ce cas-là, qu'ils changent et qu'ils mettent un personnage masculin et qu'on n'en parle plus. Ça sera plus simple plutôt que de dégrader littéralement. Morte. On se fait littéralement punir en fait. Je n'arrive pas à comprendre le fait de subir tout le temps cette mécanique de punition. Insupportable. Ouais, c'est tout le temps comme ça maintenant. Si vous allez faire 15 minutes de déplacement continuel, puis après vous êtes puni. Voilà. Bienvenue dans le nouveau Metroid. Je suis désolé mais je l'accepte pas. Pour moi, c'est officiel, Metroid est mort. Encore une licence de 20 ans qui meurt. C'est fatigant. La pire année de ma vie. Je vais finir, mais je pense que je ferai pas le 100%. Je me sens pas capable de faire 100% avec toutes ces choses qu'ils ont fait à mes sorts préférés. Le wall jump est devenu exécrable. Le speed boost est devenu dégueulasse. Le double jump ne ressemble plus à rien. C'est... Voilà, ça c'est le double saut. Et pour eux, le double saut spatial, c'est ça. Quand tu as un mode camouflage. Ah, je me sens sali, je suis désolé. Je me sens littéralement sali. Ça donne plus envie. Je pense que s'ils avaient mis 2-3 ennemis comme ça de toute l'aventure, ça aurait été bien. Mais ils ont focalisé le fait de récupérer à chaque fois toutes les compétences de Samus uniquement avec les ennemis. Non, je suis désolé, ça sert à rien de faire ça. En fait, les choses ils servent plus à rien au final. On a quelques stations choses qui vont nous donner des équipements, mais voilà, c'est tout. Il n'y a rien d'autre. Il n'y a rien à faire. Il n'y a rien à faire. Samus est devenu faible et restera faible. Voilà ce qui est devenu la nouvelle éthique de Nintendo. C'est fatigant, sérieusement, de supporter ça. Sans cesse se sentir insulté. Je n'arrive pas à comprendre. Je n'arrive absolument pas à comprendre cette façon de penser. C'est la même chose que Blizzard en fait. Maintenant, les anciens joueurs ils sont totalement punis. Et les nouveaux joueurs, on leur fait subir les pires tortures et supplices qui puissent exister au monde. Dans un jeu. Je trouve absolument pas normal que Nintendo s'est décidé du jour au lendemain à massacrer le Speed Booster, à massacrer le saut mural. J'arrive pas à saisir. Puis cette idée de mettre des ennemis dans tous les sens, c'est un Silent Hill. Maintenant, on est passé sur un Metal Gear et Silent Hill dans Metroid. C'est même plus un pur action shooter, c'est juste un mode infiltration. Ça à n'y rien comprendre. Ils ont quand même été allés jusqu'à vous proposer un radar qui vous dévoile toutes les phases secrètes. On est tombé carrément sur le pur casu à ce niveau-là. Plutôt que de chercher par vous-même, vous vous retrouvez avec un radar qui vous colle au cul, littéralement. Bon, qu'est-ce que ça va être? D'accord, cool. D'accord. Je comprends et tout, mais c'est pas grave. On va dire qu'on a compris quelque chose. On avait quand même des boss emblématiques au début, maintenant on a juste des ennemis qui sont à l'arrache totale. Ils en ont plus rien à foutre au final. On le sent maintenant. Ça me donne vraiment pas envie de me concentrer, ça me donne même pas envie de le battre ou quoi que ce soit. Avec tout ce que j'ai subi dans la gueule là d'un coup, en même pas une journée, je suis totalement déprimé. C'est juste chiant, il n'y a même pas de pattern à retenir, c'est juste tu fais un saut, t'esquives, tu tires, t'esquives, tu tires, t'esquives. C'est nul, c'est totalement nul. Ils nous ont sorti quand même des boss d'exception au tout début et maintenant ils nous sortent juste ça. Je ne comprends plus, je ne comprends absolument plus du tout l'univers de Nintendo là-dedans. C'est aberrant. On se fait punir en boucle. Bon, j'abandonne. J'abandonne, ça me saoule. Je m'en fous. Je me casse. C'est gavant, c'est chiant, c'est nul, c'est emmerdant. C'est pas intéressant, je suis désolé. C'est pas un boss qui me plaît. On nous a pris pour des cons. Voilà, c'est tout. Ouais. Ça me saoule. Je retourne farmer mes items, comme j'ai toujours fait. Puis voilà, quoi. Je vais revenir en capacité maximale et là voilà, on doit être du premier coup. Non, c'est fatigant à supporter, c'est littéralement fatigant d'avoir cet aspect d'infériorité, ça m'énerve. Surtout pour un personnage, je suis une femme, je me sens littéralement insulté. Je me sens totalement insulté par ça. J'arrive pas à accepter que Samus, qui était quand même un des personnages féminins les plus représentatifs de ma génération, ait littéralement été passé à la poubelle. On en a fait juste une mascotte et encore je pèse mes mots. J'arrive même plus à ressentir le personnage que j'ai connu à mes tout débuts. Elle est molle. Elle ne vaut plus rien. Elle n'a même plus les aspects qu'elle avait par le passé. C'est effarant. C'est injouable avec ce double saut. Injouable. Littéralement injouable. Je suis désolé, on est censé s'emmerder sur le double saut, on est censé s'emmerder sur le saut mural, on est censé s'emmerder pour essayer de viser avec le joystick, pour essayer de toucher la cible. Non, ça m'intéresse pas de galérer comme ça. C'est pas un Metroid pour moi, je suis désolé. Ça a rien à Metroid. On n'est même plus dans la zone des Metroid à ce niveau-là. On est passé sur un vieux shooter lambda et ça s'arrête là quoi. Il n'y a même plus de plaisir. C'est devenu un jeu casu, littéralement casu. On te met une difficulté de gros porc avec des items qui la moitié qui servent à rien, littéralement à rien au sens propre du terme, et tu te démerdes. Voilà, c'est ça en fait. On est passé sur une licence mythique, propre et incroyable à une licence de merde. C'est tout ce que ça peut me rapporter en tête. Metroid pour moi est totalement morte. La licence et moi, c'est fini, elle est morte. Dès le début, quand j'ai vu que le saut mural a été modifié de façon à ne pas pouvoir faire les sauts qu'on faisait nous à l'époque sur Super Metroid ou sur Fusion ou autre, avoir été puni parce qu'on avait trouvé un moyen d'aller plus vite dans le jeu, je trouve ça ignoble de la part de Nintendo. Mais littéralement ignoble. Punir des joueurs pour leur passion, c'est le pire coup de pute qu'ils aient pu faire. Je suis désolé, mais ça m'a saoulé. Me faire insulter sans cesse parce que j'aime une licence, je suis désolé, mais j'apprécie pas. J'ai pas passé 20 ans de ma vie à travailler les skills et autres pour différents modèles de plateforme ou autres sur Metroid pour me faire littéralement insulter, écraser, humilier parce que des gens ont décidé de changer la mécanique juste d'un item. Allez, comme je galère à viser, sérieusement. Ah putain, c'est exactement comme le SAX. C'est un pompé du SAX. Vous voyez, ils sont allés même jusqu'à recopier la mécanique qu'il y avait sur Fusion. Comment ils avaient plus d'idées. J'arrive pas à comprendre. Ils te disent, on va faire un tout nouveau Metroid, on vous promet que tout ce que vous avez vu jusqu'à maintenant n'existerait plus. Ah oui, ça c'est sûr, c'est totalement sûr. Quand on regarde déjà, le Speed Booster a été littéralement massacré. Le double saut, il ressemble plus à rien. Je suis désolé, mais quand vous voyez le résultat que ça donne, voilà, double saut, double jump. Bullshit. Literally bullshit. Plus divers arguments qui étaient repris en compte pour Metroid qui ont été bafoués. On se retrouve dans un mode Silent Hill et Metal Gear en boucle. Cats from Twitter. Ouais, sec. Thank you for the prime. Ouais, sec. I do something for you. Let's see. Let's give it a try. Try to speak. Do you have any possibilities to speak? Enfin bref, la licence a été totalement démolie parce que ils voulaient l'adapter à une nouvelle génération qui, encore une fois, nous emmerde profondément. Et à chaque fois c'est pareil, à chaque fois on se fait déboîter nos licences parce que ils veulent l'adapter à la nouvelle génération. Mais foutez-nous la paix avec la nouvelle génération, on s'en fout. Ils font ce qu'ils veulent de leur vie, ils ont leur jeu à eux, laissez-nous les nôtres. Laissez-nous nos plaisirs, nos vies, nos envies. Plutôt que de sans cesse rabâcher que vous voulez que ça soit meilleur pour les autres. Non, laissez-nous nos plaisirs à nous. Ces plaisirs-là, on les paye. Ah, you can't? Okay, just sec. Normally you can. Oh my god, that jump. What a pain. Yeah, I know you can understand. I'm sorry for that. So, as you saw, the game is really casual now. It's just, you fight a boss, you kill the boss, you get the item, and this is it. The first bosses in the game was really cool. Have a lot of mechanics to understand and to learn. Now it's just you avoid, you shoot, you avoid, you shoot, you kill. That's it. I don't understand what Nintendo was supposed to do with this. Normally Metroid is a part of skill use. There's a lot of item you use to do super skills, like using a super acceleration, into morphing ball. Mean you have a super meteor activated, you can shoot the boss with it, but the fact is some mechanic that base change inside over mechanics, and literally it's horrible. For example, the double jump we had in all of Metroid was a straight jump, straight to jump high, and now by doing the double jump you go forward. It's horrible, literally horrible to see. I don't even understand why they do that. These mechanics are used a lot of time in speedrun in a lot of Metroid's game, but in this game I don't think it was possible. I don't think they have a chance to do a beautiful speedrun with all these mechanics modified. It's a pain. It's literally a pain. The missile was used in the Overm, the Wii version. That's the same missile. Also used inside Metroid Prime Corruption, Metroid Prime 3. So there's nothing so new, just the name, Tempest. So this is, I don't understand, they try to do something new, but they copy all of the old Metroid games. I don't get it. Yeah, the control changed so much from Metroid Fusion and Super Metroid. Since they start to do another type of Metroid, like Metroid Prime or Metroid Other M, the control was really smooth because the controller. They tried to do something different with the controller because they are really sensitive. And the fact is, with this version, the jump is only in this way. You can go straight. You can't. Mean, if you've been pursued by the enemy, the robot killer, you can't escape in straight. It's impossible. It's so punishing. This is why I hate this version of the double jump. Even the speed booster have been reduced to ashes. You need so much time to activate it, you need so much time to use it, despite using this one in Super Metroid on Fusion. It's so easy. You just have to maintain the button, go in a direction, and boom, activate it. It's more easy to use it instead of using the small button inside the joystick to activate it. And by the same way, using the joystick. It's a nightmare. Now, can jump straight. The only way to do it is using the stick ammo. And this way. This is how they call double jump for him. The high jump. It's not even a double jump, it's just a high jump. And this thing's gonna be a pain to use it for speed running or whatsoever. I don't think there will be a speedrunner who will do it like amazing move in this game. Maybe glitch it. I think if, there will be a glitch session for this Metroid, but not super skill or whatsoever done in other Super Metroid or Fusion or Other M. Those Metroids. I don't understand Nintendo for doing that. I definitely don't understand. It's a shame to see this. It's like they definitely don't care of us and just want to do what they want. They want to destroy the speedrunners, so they'll do like this. This is the way they choose to do. The game is really good, in fact, there's no problem in it, but all this new change, this is a pain. This is a real pain. Now, it's so easy to use the super missile whatsoever. All missile has changed in one. You have the missile classic, you have the super missile, you have the tempest missile, you have the ice missile in one side. And despite of it, you use them without using any other missile. In Super Metroid you have normal missile and super missile. And in this way, just normal missile. We do everything. That's it. They just used two casualties in it. So I don't understand why. The game was difficult, in fact, but it was Metroid. It was the real Metroid. You have to search missile, you have to search super missile, you have to search power bomb. That was a real challenge, and now it's so easy to do it. That's a pain to feel it. I love Metroid so much, even more than me, and seeing how it's been transformed into some casual game, it disgusts me. Literally disgusts me. So now enemy side. Damn, dead. This is what I explained. This thing can track you everywhere, even if you don't move. The only way to escape is using the steel camo, and the camo sometimes is a real pain to use because you have to move to recharge it. If you move, you've been detected, and other side too. And this part of the game is a fucking pain to survive. Real fucking pain. It's boring as hell. In the beginning of the game it's cool because it's a new mechanic, we have to survive. Okay, no problem. But every time you go in a new zone or whatsoever, every time you have these guys here. And every time you have to get some power, destroy them, get the new power, and again and again. It's not even Metroid. So far I remember, for the old Metroid, you have to kill bosses, real bosses, to get the power behind. But this is not even bosses, it's just a monster you can't kill. You just have to escape them and deactivate them with some kind of super missile or super laser or whatsoever. That's how we work now for Metroid. I don't get it this side. I don't really get it. That's not difficult in fact, but the RNG in the game is so punished. You've been catch in a few seconds if the game decided to put the enemy just behind the door. Oh my god. See, this is a jump. And now we have to wait and move. It's freaking horrible to feel. It's a true pain. I don't even understand why they choose to do this. The idea was good, but a survival game, okay, because it's Metroid, but survival horror game, no way. No, no, not at all. This is not Metroid. Samus don't have to hide herself, she have to fight, she have to show she's strong. This is how it works. This is how Samus work. And every time you've been catch, every time you lost 20 seconds to activate, re-go to the zone, and again and again. Yeah, instant kill of enemies is boring as hell. It's a punishment for me, a true punishment. See? It wasn't semi. The moment I've been touched and my camo was out, instant kill. I don't like this. I don't like this anymore. The old Metroid, even in Nintendo DS, was so good. Metroid Prime Hunter, for example, was a body hunt. A bounty hunter against other bounty hunters and fight each other to gain some power, some new skills. Was just insane. But this one, just with the enemy, it killed totally the fun. It's not fun anymore, it's not interesting. Nah, it's not working. There's only, I can say, 3% it works. It's not like when you fight some bosses with this function. In this moment you can't. It was displayed in the beginning of the game. You just have a few percent to escape. But unfortunately, you can't. That's the main problem. Just because of this, you lost so many time. It's really frustrating and boring. In this moment, yeah, you can use it. You can use this famous melee to make a counter attack. But against the enemy, no. It would be too easy. It would be too easy if I do this. But no, I wouldn't do. Oh, fuck. There we go. Super enemies. Two of them now. What pleasure. See how it's punish it. How they try to punish you now. Just because you're good. I put higher kill robots. It won't give you any chance to survive. This is just ridiculous. We're not even in the middle of the on the game, and there's already enemy who's so powerful, will destroy you in a second. That's just horrible to support. We understand if this enemy give you some kind of special power whatsoever, but nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just a troll from the developers and no more. If you die 5-6 times, they disappear and it's gone. Can't do anything. It's too fast. It's way too fast. See, I can't do it. I have a problem because of my medicine. I can't control myself. I can focus myself. All these things are too fast for me. I can't even think myself for this kind of fights. If I beat one, I'm free. I do whatever. Like so fast. One down. One down. Okay, I can do this. And two down. Fucking. The other thing, the stress is really bad for me. It can literally kill me. But I will not stop playing my favorite game just because I have problem with stress or whatsoever. I can't. This is beyond my own possibilities. It's like for you the same way like you drawing and you're doing so much drawing, and by doing this you feel so tired, it drains your life and whatsoever. And that's the same thing for me. If I can play or whatsoever, I feel like something missing for me. And I need this thing. I need it so much. So that's why I want to continue if the game is bad. Because I love Metroid. I love it, but not so much not like my own girlfriend, but it's a kind of, you know, a long love story. Metroid was one of the first games I've played when I was a kid. My father came with a Famicom from the Japan, because my father was Japanese, and I discovered the first Metroid like this. It was very difficult, but I love to play the game so much because there's so much time to do it. and the game was a real moment of pleasure. But now it asks so much concentration, so much skill, so much dexterity. That's not even a Metroid anymore. It's how can I say, like a blood. What's the name? Blood. Bloodborne, or even a Dark Soul game. It's more like this for me. What's this? I don't understand what's this. Okay. Space jump. So now let's see how they destroy it. I have a bad feeling, a really bad feeling. Yeah, this is what I know. To explain it, you can use the space jump in other Metroid in straight line to gain access in some platform whatsoever. This one is the same, using like the double jump, main only left and right. I think I was too focused to use the joystick, because with the cross, the directional cross, there's not such a problem to do straight line, because it's so easy. But with this new version, I think they tried to do something different, like using only left and right to give more, how can I say, realism, like we got in Metroid Prime or Other M. It's the same way. And the fact it may be more casual is like you can't miss it. It's impossible to miss it, because there is no fail. It's impossible. This is why Metroid has become too casual, too easy to use. They want absolutely to give an interest for the new generation, because they feel the old generation, my generation, is disinterested inside the game itself. Well, we're not disinterested. We're getting old, we have family, we have kids or whatsoever, and we don't have any more to play the game, or we don't have enough money to buy it. Or we lost interest because the game was too easy to use or too modern. And by doing this, by doing such a mechanic like this, they try to give an interest for the new generation. But I don't think it would work. There was optional grade before, yeah. You can finish, by example, Metroid Fusion without the ice missile. If you're good enough, you can finish the game without it. So you can also finish some game without some items, because there's some trick to use it. But this one, it's straight line. You get this, you get that, you get this, you get that, you go back this, you get that. There's not the way. It's just a straight game, a long line with with different obstacle and whatsoever. This is how casual games are, like we saw in Final Fantasy XIII, for example. You have a different access of platform or whatsoever, yeah, but you don't have. You can go where you want to go. In Metroid Prime it was different. You can go wherever you want, but some power was locked because you don't have some power. And here they give you the upgrade too early to define the thing. Like the plasma beam is one of the last weapon you get inside Metroid games, and this one you just get it. I can say just 8 hours of gaming after, instead of 20 hours or whatsoever, because it's the first play. Even if you get this weapon, the game is not so easy at all. But try to make the things different by making boss super dangerous and super strong. But by doing this, the main problem is a lot of people will not accept it. Because they don't like Dark Souls game, they don't like Blood Bowl game, they don't like game wars too difficult. That's the new generation, in fact. And Metroid was good enough, and a good boss, not so strong, but with a minimum of skills to beat them, to get an interest in it. And now the problem is the bosses are really fucking difficult. Even me, who have played for 20 years now in Metroid, I beat of the boss of all Metroid games, even the Japanese version. It's this one are just a pain to beat. So painful. It's like you're a super warrioress or whatsoever, because I'm a woman, and I can believe it's so hard in the beginning of the game. You'll be so punished in the beginning of the game. It's like not a first boss in Metroid Prime, because the first boss was so easy, really so easy. But I don't understand how to. I don't understand why they do this. I tried it. They want to test you to see if you're inside the elite or whatsoever. That's nonsense. Metroid is an adventure and action game, and what they do is totally punish the people. Yeah, that in that. That's totally that. The whole game was more difficult to do, because there wasn't so help like this saying, hey, look, there's an item here. Look, you can go this. Look, you have to do this. And the bosses was not pretty hard if you know how to beat it with a certain skill. But this one, even if you're the best in an action game whatsoever, it's a pain. It's a really pain. You lost your nerve so fast. Even me, who have a great patience, I lost my nerve sometime. It's not good for me, not good for me at all. And I love Metroid so much. The fact is, it's starting to disgust me for my own loving series. And I don't want to see this. I don't want to feel this. Because Nintendo just wanted to make the game more harder, more casual, or whatsoever. That's the main problem inside the game itself now. The game is way too hard for a simple Metroid. It's not even a Metroid, because we have now a purchase of deadly monster. We have to hide ourselves to protect and don't die. I'm sorry, there wasn't such a thing in Metroid. Maybe in Metroid Fusion for the end game, but not inside the game itself or the beginning. This is how it cool. Literally the game. It kill it. I don't understand why they choose to do this. For the beginning of the game, it's not a problem. It's cool. It's a new way to enter inside the world of Metroid. But now we have all of this every time. We have a copy of all monster we got in Metroid Fusion. The X prototype. And we have the same mechanics to get the item from Metroid Fusion, because it's somehow related for after Metroid Fusion. But ask what we want. We want something new, really new, because it's been 7 years. We don't got any new Metroid. And the fact is, we got a new Metroid in Soft-Off, but with all mechanics modified. Since the beginning of the Metroid, they never modified it. Always the same system of button. Now it's completely modified. You can even change the configuration of the button. I don't understand why. And it's like this. You have to enjoy it. You have to feel it in pain. Try hard until you've been disgusted of the game and leave it alone. It's just horrible to feel it. I don't understand why Nintendo is gone in this way. We know so much Metroid. The Metroid series was about to fall, literally, because they tried to revive some really old game from Game Boy, Metroid 2. Yeah, it's a Game Boy game. And the game was good, but not good enough for me. It was just a replica of the old game I'd done when I was in my Game Boy. It was the same thing. And this one, it's like I'm playing a part of Metroid Fusion, and I don't want this. I don't want to see the X again. I don't want to beat powerful X again, because I've done it some years ago, and it's done. For me, it was done. Yeah, they share some things, but the game inside, the game itself, is a remake. Metroid 2 Return of Samus was the same mechanics. You have to search powerful Metroid, destroy them, and then finish the game like this. This one should be pretty good if you make some change in it, like the double jump. Not like this, please. A straight jump, please. It would be way better. And let the people modify the control, because the joystick is just horrible to double jump, to wall jump, to aim. It's a pain in the ass. And this is the beginning of Metroid. We always played with a cross, never with joystick, only for Metroid Prime, and that's it. And let the people have access to their own choice for the wall jump, not have a jump who literally push you out of the wall and you can't come back. The D-pad. This one, just for the map, and to make a scanner. This is it. It's not even directional. It's just how can I say, a gadget thing. This is the thing was really hurt to feel. If you watch speedrunners, they always use the direction pad, never the joystick, because the joystick is so sensitive and it's really difficult to have a good control on it. And the fact is, now by using only the joystick, it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, for Smash I'm using my GameCube. I use my GameCube remote for that, because it's more easy. It's really more easy to use with the GameCube. And That's it. In fact, that's it. We have so many problems in this new Metroid. A lot of mechanics have been changed, a lot of items have been modified, and the game is so difficult because of this. Because of this new change. Because they wanted to just do something new. And the game is a pain to do. A really pain. For someone who have played Metroid for 20 years, even for the speedrunner, it would be hell. Because these new mechanics are no match to him, or no match to me too. I'm not really bad at Metroid, not at all. I'm really good in Metroid games. I finished all of them with hard mode or whatsoever. And this one is so difficult because the controls are shit. Like when you try to escape for the enemy and try to do a double jump or just a jump on a wall jump and it misses and the enemy is just behind you, you get fucked. And you have to retry all you have done before. It's frustrating. It's totally frustrating. I can tell you how many times I die because of this. Because I just miss a wall jump. A wall jumps I performed since 20 years. Yeah, but control game make game more harder. That's totally true. I know it so well. Like Sekiro. I hope so much with Nintendo will make a decision to make some modifier inside the control itself, inside the game itself, inside the item itself, to make it better, to make the game more better. I don't know if I can do a online update. Maybe, I don't care. I don't know. No, I don't know. I care. Yes, I care. I care about it. But I don't think I will do it. For them, the game is complete. There's nothing more to do. They just add some function to put an amiibo and get some special item inside the game. That's it. That's not even a true Metroid for them. It's just a game to get some money or whatsoever and give some satisfaction for the community who asks so much for a new Metroid. And this is what you got. And so are the Metroid to beat, and so are the control to manipulate and perform at the same time. And that's it. They tried to me something good, but the fact is, it's too casual. It's really too casual. Casual game have bad control. The boss has a really pain to beat. And voila, there's nothing more to say. If they make some change inside the game itself, if they change the way of the control, let the possibilities to use the D-pad, it would be perfect. It would be so perfect. But I don't think they will do. The game is over for them, there's nothing more to say. Yeah, of course, I enjoy the game so much, I love it, but with the control it's so hard to say it's a good Metroid. If the controls are bad in a Metroid game, it makes the game so difficult. And you finish to give up because you had enough of losing because of this. When I tried to escape the enemy the last time, I tried about 30 times and I finished to cut the life because I was in desperate. Like you saw in Twitter too. I will finish it, but not in 100%. Because some mechanics they include inside the game are just impossible to accept it. Impossible to do it. In my condition, I can't do this. Not anymore. Maybe when I was Not in my medicine treatment it was possible to do this, but actually I can't. It's impossible. I don't get it, I think. This is all I can say. The game is not so bad, in fact, but there's so many errors, so many problems inside it. Or the control, the gameplay, the modification of legendary item. These items are a legend, and it made the game sour because of this, and it killed my passion in sort of. It's really hard to accept my Metroid, my lovely Metroid, being literally treated to shit because they just wanted to make it different from what we know so far. And that's why I can't accept it myself. Because all the Metroid I've done so far, of the story I've done so far, of the difficulty I've done so far in all Metroid ever, wasn't like this. I never was in pain because of the control, but because of the bosses, of the enemies, of the intelligence of the enemies. Because of this, it was difficult to beat them. But using skill, using dexterity of even my brain, it was a real pleasure to beat them. It was a satisfaction after beat them. Now it's just frustration and rage after beat them. And even bad words. Sorry for that. My nerve go really blow up so fast because of this. And that's it. The game is so good so far. It's one of the best Metroid game I've played. But just because of the control, just because of the change of the control system, mean using the joystick instead of the D-pad, it killed the pleasure of the game. Even in the Wii version, there wasn't a joystick. It was a Wiimote, only the Wiimote, and it was a D-pad to play with it. Only for the FPS version, you have to turn your Wiimote and aim for the television, and then you control Samus movement with the pad, only the movement. For the jump or whatsoever in this one. It was so funny to do it, but now it's a pain. It's a goddamn pain to feel it. Yeah, the Wii was a really fun controller. I love to play it. It was on my favorite console ever. Because there was so much immersion inside the game. It's one of the best creations they've done so far. And unfortunately, people was not say it was too childish for people, but it was the best game so far inside. And even the Metroid one so good because in one end you have the cannon, on the other end you have the grappling hook or whatsoever. It was your own control controlling Samus inside the game. That was so funny to do it with the Wii controller. But now it's so delicate. I don't know if I will continue to love the series. I'll continue the game. I'll see how far I can go. If it's too boring or too difficult or too painful, I think I will stop. Because I don't want to kill my own mental. It's all that I have to say about this Metroid. You have a really good story, a really good ideas for the puzzle, for the mysteries. The boss are really difficult to beat. It's just for a type of community to play the game. I don't think the new people we can beat the game so easily because the boss are a fucking pain to beat, like you saw. Even the small boss or middle boss are really difficult. He asks so much skill, so much reflex or whatever. And it's too bad because the game is out on Switch, and Switch is a console a lot of people have now, even the kids. And I don't think Metroid will be so good for them. That's really hard to feel. I thought there was a way to save Metroid and give it to the next generation and give them our legacy. The time we have passed, we have loved this game, and we have shared it. And I don't think it's going that way. I think Nintendo will go for another Metroid Prime and stop the license because there are nothing more to do to save it. It's like World of Warcraft, the same way they tried to save the game, but even with the new generation, it's not possible because they don't like the lore, they don't like the way of fight. And for Metroid, the same thing. That's the problem of the new generation. They just want to fight, make high damage, and that's it. For Metroid, it would be the same fate like World of Warcraft. They're gonna die. If Nintendo continue in that way, make the game so difficult, so hard to explain, so hard to understand, it would be that way. Unfortunately. And I don't want to see this. I don't want to see one of my favorite listeners dying like us. Yeah. The real-time strategy game like Resident Evil. Yeah, indeed. There was so many changes in them. Now new Resident Evil are just you aim, you shoot. There's no puzzle anymore, and it's too lazy to play. I played the 7. I was like, what the hell is that? I was disgusted because there's no more puzzle. The zombie was boring. Even the remake of Nemesis was shitty. To say clearly, it was shitty because Nemesis was every time in your ass, and every time you had to escape it. Inside the real, the normal game, the real one, Nemesis came from nowhere sometime and scare you. It was the goal of the game. I done the first Nemesis. I beat it, of course, and it was so scary because I don't know where he come from. I don't know when he will come. It was a real stretches. It was so funny. Even Resident 2 was so cool. And the way now they make a Resident Evil like Metroid or Devil May Cry or whatsoever game is totally casual. It's not even a good game, it's just a game to give some hard time or to occupy yourself, and you throw the game. This is how it works now. You spend money for a game and you forget it after. Because you have done what you have done. That's it. It's horrible. And I think it would be the same fate for Metroid and some other games. That's really a shame because a lot of people invest inside Metroid games, even his own creator, and now the game is thrown into dust. Because they just gave a game we wanted. We wanted a new game, so they make some kind of new game. And, well, they, in a part, make a failure. Because they modify the mechanic itself, from the game, and this mechanics was the main point of all Metroid, because it was so funny to make a lot of trick with it you can't do anymore. Because of this, they literally killed the pleasure of a Metroid game. And that's really shameful to do this. I just don't understand anymore why they do this. It's like they say, hey, you want a game? Eat shit. That's it. For me, it's the same way. They just give some good trailer to say, hey, look the game, it's a good game for you. Want it? Buy it. And then when we play the game for more than 8 hours, or starting to discover the middle of the game, you see, it's whatever. It's just whatever. And this is exactly what's happened in the Metroid Dread. You go to get items, there is no enemy interesting, and that's it. It's a typical casual game now. For example, Metroid Fusion was really nice because all the time you've been pushed by the SAX, was a version of Samus as X protocol. The X organism can copy any type of biological type and make it real. Like they take your DNA, they take your DNA and make you real. Like it's on you, on face. And for Samus was the same way. She got a copy of her, but at full power, and the goal was to sometime escape the attack of SAX, and it wasn't every time. It was just sometime, and give you all of the time to make discover, to find new item, beat powerful bosses, and do some amazing trick with all the item you get. But now it's completely different. For example, I just try to catch myself on the glide, but because Samus, every time I try to get an edge, she transforms herself like a mob ball, and it's sometimes really painful to catch yourself inside this rail, because the joystick didn't, how can I say, calculate the angle of your choice. If you do like this, sometimes it will not do it, because it's too low or it's too high from the angle. But with a D-pad, it's so easy, because there are only 4 spots. And for the joystick, there's multiple of spots. That's the main problem for the control. So that's why I say using a Metroid with a joystick is a really, really bad idea. It makes the game so difficult than it is. And that's not really a good idea at all. I know they wanted to do a new way to introduce the game for like a pad or whatsoever, but that's definitely not the good way. But that's definitely not the way to go in, because it's too smooth, it's very too difficult to make precise jump or whatsoever with a joystick. With a D-pad, it's so easy to make a precise jump because you have only angle to choose. And with the joystick, it's a fucking pain, even for shoot. See? Even with a laser, it's a pain. Because when you try to shoot an angle, a specific angle like this, sometimes it can go here and you don't touch. Like a missile. See? When you have so many strikes by fighting a boss, you try to focus yourself, but there's so many things to avoid, so many things to analyze at the same time. And with the joystick, it's so difficult to aim at a good point. With a full precision, it's horrible. With the D-pad, it's not a problem. In the whole game, this button was used to do a special angle, like this or like this, for the aim, and that's it. That's how the Metroid game works. Now, it's just you have to fix missile. It's another change I cannot accept because it's too difficult in my head to say, hey, it's not even an aim, it's a missile. Huh? For aim, it's this button. But choose to use this one because the joystick is just below. Easy to access for them. But not so much. There's so many buttons to use for the battle now. It's so difficult to have a good angle. Even to, by example, crash or even catch yourself in a wall to aim in a specific position. And if you miss by your jump or whatever, you're fucked. And you lost so many hit. You lost so many life because of this. Because you just failed a simple jump. Because the mechanic inside the game was too complicated for the character itself to accomplish it, and you lost. You don't know how to do. You don't know how to do it again. You lost your confidence. I don't know. I can say that. All Metroid are simple control to make the game so good and so easy to do it, but the bosses, the enemy was really strong and really powerful and also really smart. But now the enemy are strong, powerful, smart, but the control are shit. And this is what this is how the game is so hard to do and beat. It took me so many times to beat the 4 boss because my my angle of shot was too hazardous. I think it was the good aim when I tried to shot the boss, and no, wasn't, because it was a little bit below. But with the D-pad, it's not a problem. You just have to aim a specific way, and this is it. I just don't get it. Maybe I will try to do another way to give more access, more difficulty or whatsoever. I just I don't understand. In fact, it was a good idea, in fact, but not the best way. Not really the best way to do this. I think they need to do some change inside the game, like doing a patch or whatsoever, but make it more smooth for people who just want to discover a good Metroid in a Switch, for example. Not punishing people because they are not strong enough. That's not a Dark Souls, that's not a Bloodborne, that's not even a Metal Gear. And all of these games are inside this Metroid. It's whatever. People will be completely lost to understand the story of Metroid if all of these things are inside the game. And it's this what's happened exactly at this right moment for the game itself. I try to do some different things while not related to Metroid. Of course, there are also special items, there are also trap item, there are also hidden item. Okay, that's Metroid. But hide yourself for the survive. Try to fight against the control itself. No, this is not Metroid. Metroid is always a part of skill, of knowledge, and of fun. Because yeah, Metroid is fun. It's very fun to do. And with the time, they try to make the story of the Chozo with the main people of the Metroid games. They make a powerful item, a powerful artifact. Even the armor of Samus made by the Chozo. And now inside the game we have the Chozo as a warrior. We never saw that before. That's a good idea. I don't say it's bad or whatsoever. It's a really good idea. But the fight themselves are so difficult. It's like Samus is just weak. And we know all gamers who play the Metroid game know Samus is not weak. Not at all. And just because of this, because of the enemy who tracking you down to kill you, because of the Chozo soldier who are just practically impossible to beat, it's so painful to see how Samus have difficulty to beat them because they choose to make her weak. I don't get the choice of Nintendo by doing this. This is just ridiculous. I think they just try to kill the license and go to something else. That's all. They try to make the difficult so hard, only few people can finish it, appreciate, and try to do a speed run on it. But with those controls, it's practically impossible to do good speedrun. Maybe with glitch, I can say for sure there will be glitch, but just a normal speedrun, nah, I don't think so. There's too much thing to control, too much thing to do. There's so much nerf inside the items. You can't do anything like you want it to do, like in the past. It's totally destroyed. All the items you loved so much in all Metroid are gone. They just try to make an exportation of all items done in all Metroid just in this one to say, hey look, we have special item, we have new item, but sorry, it's old item, we have just modified and make it way worse. This is how it's worked for Metroid Dread. They tried to make a good game, but with really shitty control and really bad idea too. It's a shame. I love so much the Metroid series. I love so much the character of Samus Aran, but so have so many pain to beat powerful boss because the control has a shit. It's just awful to see. You just want to stop the game and leave her in peace because she suffered enough. This is what I'm thinking. It's horrible to see every time Samus being killed every time because the control fucked or whatsoever, and it hurt. When you know so much Samus is so powerful to beat any kind of enemy because she have the power to do it, and you see just because a machine is tracking you down and she's invincible, you just have to hide yourself and run away. No, this is not Samus, and this is not a Metroid game have to beat it. Not at all. That's my final words. And as you saw, there's still 2 enemies to kill. It's exactly the same system we got in Metroid Samus Return. Yep, exactly the same. You have to kill special enemies and that's it, you can escape. It's not so new at all. I think they should work more harder for Metroid Prime. A lot of people wait for Metroid Prime. Even me, I wait for so long to have another Metroid Prime and get a full access of new story, new items, and a new Samus too. And of course, Samus powerful, not so weak like this. That's it's really difficult to understand this choice. The trailer was so good, the idea was good, but every time you have difficulty to escape from enemy because the control fuck yourself, or because the enemy is just front of you but you don't see it because it's instant kill. It's pain. It's like a Metal Gear in Urban Extreme mode. Even if you hide it behind a wall or behind a tree, you've been instant spot. That's the same way for this thing. And I don't like it. I don't like this way. Maybe some people will find some pleasure to do this and get some challenge, but every time losing because you have the controller fucked up, or just because the enemy spots you like nowhere, it's really frustrating. It's why I don't think this part of the game I will love it, not at all. I'm not here to hide myself, to protect myself. I'm here to kill monsters. I'm here to destroy powerful bosses, to get awesome items, to do special tricks, and get a lot of pleasure to do them, and finish the game. That's it. I'm here for that. Not to do some kind of Silent Hill project or whatsoever. Not at all. That's really too bad Nintendo got this type of idea. Okay, it was a new idea, sort of. But in this fact, there should be not using anymore the X, not using anymore all the enemies we have beat it in the past, like Kraid. Kraid was one of the first boss in the Metroid series, and they use it again here because they don't have any idea to make another boss, just because it's a boss who've been created by biologic weapon or whatsoever. And we saw this type of creation inside Metroid Prime 2. That's not new at all. So that's why it's really frustrating. Okay, it was fun to beat Kraid one more time, I admit it. But it's a bit disappointed because there's not so much new boss inside the game. There's a lot of enemy with the same pattern of the same skill or the same battle fight like we got in the past. So it's not so hard at all to beat them because we know them. And it's frustrating. We played the game a little bit far, and to see they use a lot of part of all Metroid just in this one and say it's new, it's not true. It's not true at all. This is why I want a lot of change inside and make it better. Just not let the people making pain to finish it. This is not Dark Souls, this is not a Bloodborne, not even a Silent Hill or Metal Gear or Resident Evil game. It's a Metroid game, and you have to survive from enemies, alright, but not to hurt yourself. This is what I'm thinking. This is my final words for a good Metroid game. Out of this, we don't need. We just need to shoot to get items, have skills to beat powerful enemy or smart enemies, and go back home. That's how we work. And this is how Nintendo screwed up so fast and so far. That's all. This is all I have to say now. Alright, let's try to find an exit. Donc voilà, j'ai expliqué un petit peu comment choisir Metroid. Je ne vois pas côté Metal Gear, Resident Evil, Silent Hill, ce genre de choses. Je vois un Metal Gear, non, je vois un Metroid vraiment du fait que celui-ci est pure shooting. Vous récupérez des items, vous devenez plus puissant, vous battez des boss qui sont particulièrement intéressants, forts, avec des patterns assez redoutables à maîtriser et à apprendre. Puis à la fin, vous rentrez tranquillement chez vous avec le fait que vous avez détruit le boss final. Pour moi, c'est ça, Metroid. C'est pas le fait de se cacher, d'attendre que l'ennemi passe et après on se barre la queue entre les jambes. Non, ça va pas du tout. De plus, les contrôles sont juste horribles, totalement horribles. On voit d'ailleurs pour le saut spatial que ça a été revu totalement à l'arrache, puisqu'on peut même plus faire un saut spatial droit, comme on avait à l'époque. Ce qui aidait énormément pour beaucoup de méta, pour beaucoup de speedrun. Maintenant, tout ça a été revu à la baisse. On les a uniquement en diagonale. Donc, c'est juste ignoble au niveau des déplacements. De plus, il y a pas mal d'ennemis qui ont été revus, entre parenthèses, par rapport aux anciens Metroid. Ils ont été récupérés dessus, en particulier Kraid. Bon, je dis pas que j'ai pas aimé le combat du boss, mais c'était plutôt pas mal. Sauf que Kraid a été vaincu, il y a quand même de ça plus de 20 ans. Ce qui est quand même assez loin. Concernant les items, beaucoup des items ont été récupérés des anciens Metroid. Ça va de soi, c'est comme ça que ça fonctionne les Metroid. Le problème, c'est que ils ont juste changé le nom de certains items. Par exemple, le missile à verrouillage s'appelle le missile Tempête, alors que ce missile à verrouillage était dans un Metroid Prime ou tout simplement dans Over-M. C'est comme j'ai expliqué, vous chargez votre missile, vous visez et après, pof, ça part. C'est comme ça que ça a été vu. Puis il y a pas mal de mécaniques aussi qui ont été revues à la baisse de façon à rendre Samus plus vulnérable. C'est pas vraiment ce que j'accepte personnellement. Samus est un personnage qui est très fort, qui est particulièrement puissant, qui a toujours été respecté entre parenthèses dans le monde du jeu vidéo. Et maintenant, elle se fait rabaisser par une simple machine. Ce qui est totalement ignoble à supporter. Donc voilà, aussi le fait d'utiliser le joystick pour les déplacements, c'est une horreur comme pas possible. Pour faire un wall jump, il faut littéralement se creuser la tête pour avoir le bon angle, pour appuyer le personnage de Samus dessus et enchaîner pour refaire un autre saut derrière. Malheureusement, avec les nouvelles mécaniques qui s'ajoutent, plus les nouveaux items qui se rajoutent à la panoplie de Samus, ça devient ultra chiant à faire, puisque quand vous essayez de faire un wall jump, vous avez le double jump qui s'active en même temps, donc forcément ça vous annule le wall jump et vous vous retrouvez à tomber dans le vide comme une merde. C'est trop frustrant, c'est trop chiant quoi. Rien qu'avec ce genre de problème de mécanique, on arrive à se faire pulvériser par un boss ultra simple. Et ça, c'est un truc qui n'est pas acceptable dans un Metroid. Pour des gens comme nous qui avons passé pratiquement la moitié de notre vie sur cette licence et qu'on voit qu'on se fait littéralement laminer parce que les contrôles ont été faits par des ignorants de la série, ça fait mal au cœur. De plus, le fait de mettre des boss qui sont ultra difficiles dès le début du jeu, c'est un truc à ne jamais faire. Ça va dégoûter littéralement ceux qui veulent découvrir la série. Ils vont comprendre que have a good lunch and thank you so much to come in. Thank you so much. Donc voilà quoi. Le truc c'est que ils ont essayé de faire quelque chose de plus difficile pour le rendre plus long à finir, la pire des erreurs, puisque maintenant les gens vont essayer de, comment dire, juste d'essayer de battre le premier boss. Ils vont voir que c'est trop dur et ils vont laisser tomber. Le jeu risque de finir à l'oubli, comme une partie de notre héritage, parce que tout simplement Nintendo a décidé de rendre le jeu en mode Dark Souls. Et c'est vraiment frustrant de voir que tout ce qu'on a vécu nous par le passé, qu'on a partagé, est en train de littéralement se faire déchiqueter par cette nouvelle ambition qu'a Nintendo. Et c'est vraiment dommage parce que Metroid est quand même une des meilleures séries que Nintendo a pu sortir. À part les Mario, Metroid fait vraiment partie du top 3 de leur série. C'est vraiment une de leurs idoles. Et voir à quel point la série a été massacrée. Parce que d'abord, on a eu pas mal de reportages de certains jeux par rapport au fait que les fans voulaient retrouver des anciens Metroid à la sauce du jour. Par exemple, le retour de Samus, Metroid 2, qui était à la base sur Game Boy. Ça m'a pas donné la vie escomptée pour les fans. Ils ont trouvé un jeu assez nouveau entre parenthèses, mais vite fini parce qu'ils connaissaient déjà toutes les mécaniques et toutes les patterns, y compris où se trouvaient la plupart des ennemis. C'est un peu le même genre ici en fait. On sait directement quoi faire ou autre. Les items ont juste été modifiés de façon à rendre le jeu plus diversifié, mais les contrôles le rendent totalement horrible. Quand vous essayez de faire quelque chose d'assez proprement, vous ne pouvez pas parce que les contrôles sont saccagés ou sabotés par la nouvelle mécanique elle-même du jeu. Ce qui rend particulièrement frustrant l'expérience qu'on a à l'intérieur de ce Metroid Dread. Puis il en va de soi aussi que le fait que passer les zones des EMI est un véritable supplice maintenant. On se retrouve à recommencer jusqu'à une trentaine de fois le passage parce que vous avez raté votre double saut du fait que celui-ci n'a pas été reconnu par l'appui sur le joystick alors que vous avez fait exactement comme il fallait. Et vous vous retrouvez à recommencer encore et encore et encore jusqu'à que vous finissez par laisser tomber, comme j'ai fait tout à l'heure, et prendre une pause. Alors que ça m'est jamais arrivé dans un Metroid. Jamais j'ai abandonné sur quelconque difficulté. Je suis allé jusqu'au bout, j'ai passé des heures complètes à essayer de combattre un boss, mais j'ai fini par y arriver. Mais là, le fait d'avoir abandonné en plein milieu, ça m'est jamais arrivé. Jamais. J'ai jamais eu ce moment de dégoût, de désespérance à travers moi. J'ai vraiment été dégoûté littéralement quand j'ai vu que Samus était juste vulnérable par une simple machine, alors qu'elle en a combattu et détruit des centaines de milliers. Ça fait vraiment mal au cœur de voir que une machine arrive à surpasser un être humain. C'est un peu ça en fait, surtout un personnage féminin. C'est surtout ça qui fait extrêmement mal au cœur. Alors que Samus c'est quand même partie des personnages féminins d'un jeu vidéo les plus puissants qui soient. Et les plus respectés par la même occasion. Et là, le voir le fait qu'elle galère juste pour échapper à une machine, ça n'a plus aucun sens. C'est comme si Metroid avait disparu dans l'oubli et on se retrouve juste avec un simple jeu de survie et d'infiltration. Alors que ça n'a jamais été le cas dans tous les autres Metroid. Peut-être à la fin de Metroid Fusion, mais il y avait toujours un moyen de se défendre ou d'échapper aux ennemis sans se retrouver acculé contre un mur et ne pouvoir absolument rien faire. Parce que même en appuyant sur les fameux boutons au moment où le flash apparaît, ça ne fonctionne pas. Donc voilà, le problème il est là en fait avec ce nouveau Metroid, c'est qu'ils l'ont fait beaucoup trop difficile, beaucoup trop diversifié. Ils ont modifié des contrôles et des mécaniques de jeu qui étaient quand même légendaires à la base. Et qui vont faire que je pense qu'il y aura vraiment très très peu de speedrun dessus. Ce qui est vraiment dommage, parce que Metroid c'est quand même une série qui a beaucoup de speedrun et des speedruns totalement spectaculaires qui ont été faits par Rots and Goats et d'autres personnes. Le dernier que j'ai pu voir, ça a été Super Metroid Impossible, qui est quand même le Metroid le plus difficile au monde à terminer. Et les techniques utilisées dessus sont totalement incroyables au niveau des wall jump, au niveau des sauts spatiaux ou autres. Tout est contrôlé, tout est parfaitement imposé puisque les contrôles sont juste parfaits pour ce type de modification. Mais là, le problème, par exemple avec le wall jump, c'est qu'au moment où on fait un wall jump, on se décolle littéralement totalement du mur. On ne peut pas revenir dessus comme on faisait sur les anciens Metroid. Et ça, c'est un truc qui va casser littéralement l'ambiance au niveau des speedruns par exemple. Le jeu va être bon à finir une fois, et puis peut-être une deux fois pour faire le 100%, puis il va te mettre à l'oubli. C'est comme ça que ça va se passer au final. Quand on voit comment on galère pour de simples boss à cause des contrôles, croyez-moi, ça donne vraiment pas envie de s'acharner dessus. Ou peut-être avec une manette modifiée, et encore, si jamais ça arrive. Mais dans ces moments-là, ce qu'on voit, c'est que tout simplement, le jeu est trop difficile juste à cause des contrôles. Pas à cause de la complexité d'eux-mêmes, mais juste parce qu'ils ont été modifiés d'une façon qui ne convient absolument pas à notre façon de jouer. Que ce soit pour les nouveaux ou que ce soit pour les anciens, les contrôles ne conviennent pas du tout à ce genre de situation, par exemple dans un combat de boss ou autre. On a besoin d'être rapide, bouger sans cesse, être précis dans les mouvements. Et à cause de ça, on se fait tout embecter puisque les contrôles merdent totalement dans tous les sens. Et ça, c'est, je pense, ce qui va me punir de plus en plus à l'avancée dans le jeu. C'est assez gavant à supporter. Et j'espère que ça va changer avec une modification pour changer les contrôles au niveau du jeu. Faire en sorte qu'on puisse utiliser le pad directionnel, donc la croix directionnelle. Et par la même occasion, revoir un petit peu certaines mécaniques à l'intérieur du jeu, de façon à les rendre plus maniables. Surtout ça, qui permettrait de faire des tricks ou ce genre de choses un petit peu plus facilement, entre parenthèses. Parce que le but en fait d'un jeu, c'est qu'il soit amusant, qu'il soit divertissant. Que vous puissiez faire des choses qui dépassent les physiques même du jeu. Comme beaucoup de Metroid, comme beaucoup de Castlevania, etc., etc. Et là en fait on est puni parce qu'on essaye de faire quelque chose qui sort de l'ordinaire du jeu en lui-même. Et le jeu nous regarde directement à la place où lui a décidé de l'être. Et c'est pour ça que ça le rend, mais vraiment, comment dire, désagréable. La sensation de, par exemple dans les combats ou autres, est assez désagréable parce qu'on lutte sans cesse, non pas pour toucher le point faible de l'ennemi, mais pour le viser. C'est juste là la principale difficulté, c'est le fait de viser précisément. Et avec le joystick, c'est un véritable cauchemar. Parce qu'on sait qu'on peut avoir l'angle, mais en fait, l'angle n'est pas bon, puisque le jeu a décidé que ça soit plus bas ou plus haut. C'est un véritable cauchemar. Ça se joue surtout sur le pixel, et on n'arrive jamais à l'avoir du premier coup. Il faudrait que ça soit gravé dans la tête dès le départ. Ce qui n'est malheureusement pas le cas. Voilà. Je vais relancer une VOD, et on va faire une dernière partie, puis après moi je vais aller me reposer. Voilà. Allez, je reviens.